Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of Victory IS. As we have been discussing the current developments pertaining to the past 3 years, all current developments are related to environment and ecology that we are discussing, that I have been discussing. So, we have discussed the current issues of 2022, taking around 19 to 20 videos. This is the current development from 2023. We have already completed one video on fishes. This is the second video that is for the fish species. The fish species have been in news for several reasons. One, that there have been unusual spotting of certain fishes. Then there are certain new discoveries with respect to the fishes, and certain fossils have been recovered. So today we are going to take up some 12 topics, all related to fish species, and we'll try and cover them in the next 1 hour. Also, I have included some questions so that you get an idea that what kind of questions that could be framed from these topics. Since we are focusing upon prelims 2026, so we are only creating the questions for the prelims examination. Later on, maybe we'll talk about the mains examination as well. So let's begin with the first topic that we are supposed to take up today. The first topic is related to the Indo-Pacific humpback dolphin. So, as the name suggests, that this dolphin is found in Indian and Pacific Ocean, but primarily it is found in Pacific Ocean. And this Indo-Pacific humpback dolphin was in the news for the fact that it was spotted near the coast of Kerala. So, news says that some 30-40 dolphins, which happen to be Indo-Pacific dolphins, were spotted near the coast of Kerala. Not Kerala, Tamil Nadu, I'm sorry. Near the coast of Tamil Nadu. So, there are certain features that you need to understand. If you look at the picture, this dolphin, when it is adult, so in the adult stage, it is pink in color, or say reddish in color. So the adult Indo-Pacific humpback dolphin is pinkish in color, and this pinkish color is attributed to thermoregulation. Thermoregulation means the temperature regulation. So basically, the blood vessels of this fish is present near the surface, near the skin. So over here the blood vessels are concentrated, and because blood vessels are concentrated near the skin, just below the skin, that is why the color turned to be pinkish or reddish. So, and this happens in order to regulate the temperature of the the dolphin. And if you look at this animal, this is warm-blooded mammal. So that is why they need to regulate their temperature. So it is the reason for pink color, and the young ones are the juveniles, the calves are grey colored. So these are broadly the features. They are found in Indian and Western Pacific Ocean. If you look at Western Pacific Ocean, China is the predominant country that is present in Western Pacific Ocean. That is why this also called Chinese dolphin, Chinese white dolphin. Then it is different from the Indian Ocean humpback dolphin. It is not the same. This one is the Indo-Pacific one, primarily in the Pacific region. Okay. Then moving further, This species is also experiencing some kind of threats. Those threats mainly pertain to pollution, the marine pollution, especially the plastic and thermal pollution. We know that the marine ecosystem is rampant with this problem of plastic pollution and increase in the temperature. So all those things are becoming threat to the dolphin. Then fishing nets. Fishing nets means the fishing gears that are being used, and these fishing gears unintendedly capture these dolphins as well, or at least hurt these dolphins. So once the ship is taken to the deep ocean, at times these dolphins strike with the ship, so they are hurt, and at times they are also unintentionally become the catch in these fishing gears. And then mangrove loss. Mangrove loss is primarily a threat indirectly. Why indirectly? Because these mangroves are the hotspot for different kind of fishes, and these fishes are the food for dolphin. So since mangroves are lost, so this chain is broken, and ultimately the dolphins are having scarcity of food, and then declining fish stock, again it is the same thing. So these are the major threats that the dolphins are facing right now. Obviously several efforts have been taken at the national as well as at the international level. At the international level, the most important development, I would say that it is placed under vulnerable category of IUCN status. So we know that IUCN recognizes 9 categories. You need to put in the comment section that what are those 9 categories. Under those nine categories, this Indo-Pacific humpback dolphin is vulnerable in nature. So their IUCN status is vulnerable. This is very important. And then under CITES means Convention on International Trade of Endangered Species. So under CITES, it is placed under Appendix 1. It means that their international trade is in usual case prohibited. They are only internationally traded for the purpose of science and research. So only for scientific purpose and research purpose they should be traded, otherwise they should not be internationally traded. That is what this CITES says, the Convention on International Trade of Endangered Species. And then with respect to Indian legislation, Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. The Wildlife Protection Act is the apex legislation in order to deal with wildlife and the biodiversity conservation. So, Wildlife Protection Act 1972 maintains 6 schedules from 1 to 6. So, under these 6 schedules, Indo-Pacific humpback, the Indo-Pacific humpback dolphin is not listed. But what is listed? It is Gangetic dolphin. So, do remember that the one that we are talking right now, it is not listed in the WPA 1972, but Gangetic dolphin, also called Indian dolphin, it is listed, and it is listed under Schedule 1. So it means that it has been given the highest degree of protection. Schedule 1 means the highest degree of protection would be available to those species. Okay, so these are the facts about Indo-Pacific dolphin. Now, let's see the kind of question that could be framed, although an easy question, since now we have discussed almost everything, so now you should be in position to solve this. Which of the following statements about Indo-Pacific humpback dolphin is or are correct? It is classified as vulnerable by IUCN. Makes sense. The right one? It is listed in Schedule 1 of. So no, this Indo-Pacific humpback dolphin is not listed. So this one is wrong. Its pink color is attributed to or is due to thermoregulation. To make sense. So answer should be A. So make sure that before I solve the question, you pause the screen and solve it on your own, because already these facts we have discussed. On those things only the question is based. And do remember at least these facts, the facts that I am telling you, because you never know, there might be one or two questions from the single video itself. So there have been questions in the past from these areas, from the new discoveries, from the fossils, from the species that were in the news. So make sure that you remember at least few of the facts. Okay, then moving further. And this one is related to a gel which was injected in the body of the zebra fish. So basically a yellow colored gel was injected into the body of zebra fish, and after this injection of this gel, the color of the gel turned blue. So it means that there was some reaction inside the body, and ultimately this gel turned into an electrode, a conductive electrode, or call it conductor. So this is the experiment that was in the news, and since this gel has turned into an electrode, it means that now this gel which has turned an electrode could be used for treatment of certain ailments, certain disease. So this is the entire idea of this experiment which was conducted. So what are those ailments, what are those diseases that could be treated? So that is Parkinson's disease, epilepsy, depression, spinal injuries. So all these things could be treated by using this gel which was experimented on zebrafish. So why zebrafish? First thing, that zebrafish has physiological similarity. It has physiological similarity with humans, and that is why they become the model organisms. They could be used, and similar kind of response is expected that if the same thing is done over the human body. So that is why zebrafish is used. Not only zebrafish, leech is being used, cow, chicken, pig tissues, all these animals are being used. The experiment is being conducted, and ultimately it is tested over the humans. So before human trial, it is done over the animals. So this is the news. Now the question comes up ki how it is turning into electrode. So it is turning into electrode. Basically this gel combines with sugar content that is there in zebrafish. So after combining with the sugar content, the amount of sugar that is present in the zebrafish, it turns blue and ultimately an electrode. So this is the entire idea of this news. So why zebrafish? I have already told you that although its number is also very high, so it is native to South Asia, that is one fact, but the major importance is that it could be used as model organism because of the physiological similarity. जैसे आप देखोगे तो zebra fish has very high reproductive cycle as the humans have. So all those physiological similarities are there, and that is why it is used in biomedical research extensively. Okay, now a simple question is there. Just have a look, a direct question. I don't think that we need a discussion on this, but let me tell you, this is a very good question. Why I am saying it is a good question? If you have not read this topic, it would be difficult to attempt this question. Look at the options. It is saying that recent research on developing electrodes inside living tissues uses which of the following natural triggers to activate conductive cell. So body salts, quite sense, yes, but again this is not the right answer. Then this is the right answer because we know, but by body proteins make sense. So I am saying that if you do not know this topic, it would be difficult to take a right guess. So make sure that you do not take guess in such questions because options are actually very close. So the right answer is B for Bombay. Then moving to the third topic, which is related to some connection between deep sea mining and the whale that is found in the deep ocean. So you should know that the whale, the largest mammal on the earth's surface, communicates through songs. So they are communicating through songs. So the whale song that is sung by these whales for communication for different purposes, maybe for mating, for calling their offsprings, their young ones. So for different purpose, these whales, they sing a song, sing basically, and they use this as the communication tool for navigation, for mating, for a number of purposes. But what is happening because of the mining activities in the ocean, some noise is created, and this noise has the same frequency. This noise has the same frequency as the song of the whale. So because of this overlapping frequency, these whales are getting confused now. Okay, so इस mining की वजह से there would be some kind of sound, and already they are producing some sound. So those have same frequency, similar frequency. That frequency lies between 20 hertz to 10 kilowatt hertz. Not important. These facts are not important. 20 hertz to 10 kilohertz. But again, since they are overlapping, so now it is becoming for the whales to communicate properly. So their communication mechanism has been disrupted because of this deep sea mining. So whale songs, communication for mating, feeding, navigation. The mining noise overlaps the whale frequencies. What are the different sources of the noise? The rock blasters, the vehicles, the digging machines, all those things that are used in deep sea mining, they are creating some noise which has overlapping frequency with the song produced by the whale, and ultimately it is resulting into confusion, the communication breakdown. So basically the communication between the whales is getting broken, and it is ultimately resulting into mother calf separation, mating disruption, and migration confusion. All these things are very sensible and easy to understand. Okay, so if you look at the question, a very simple question, deep sea mining poses a threat to whale communication. Why? So because of the overlapping frequency. Yeah, so this is the right answer. I'm not investing much time here because we have already discussed the same thing. But make sure that you solve them, although these questions are appearing to be easy here, but once it comes in the examination and you encounter these questions for the first time, they are really difficult. Anyway, so wetland species zoo has been proposed in Rajasthan. So there is a proposal for establishment of a zoo within Keoladev National Park. So this proposal has been given by Rajasthan government. So the zoo, the kind of facilities they are going to develop, they are the same facilities are they are developed in other zoos of the country, but the most important thing here is that Keoladev National Park. You cannot afford to know the facts, not to know the facts about Keoladev National Park. So Keoladev National Park, first of all, if you have heard of something called as Ramsar site. So it is an important Ramsar site. It is a very important Ramsar site. Ramsar sites are basically the wetlands of international importance. Wetlands of international importance, and they are declared under something called as Ramsar Convention, which is a convention of 1970s, and under this convention the wetlands which hold the international importance, they are declared as Ramsar site. One such important site is Keoladev National Park. Not only this, under this Ramsar site there is a list of the wetlands which have already experienced some kind of ecological deterioration or experiencing ecological deterioration or might experience ecological deterioration in the future. So such wetlands are included under Montreux's record. So Montreux's record is the list of such wetlands जहाँ पे ऑलरेडी इकोलॉजिकल डिसरप्शन हो चुका है या होगा फ्यूचर में या ऑलरेडी हो रहा है. सो देर आर ओनली टू सच Ramsar sites or wetlands in India. One is Keoladev National Park and second one is Loktak Lake. And let me tell you, these wetlands, these Ramsar sites, these wetlands of international importance have been asked several times in the prelims examination. So we are expecting that any day they could be asked again. So these are the important facts with respect to Keoladev National Park, where Rajasthan government has proposed to develop a wetland species zoo, and this development will occur by the financial support from a French development agency. Okay, and moreover you should know that this Keoladev National Park is also a World Heritage Site. It is offering, basically this zoo will offer the breeding of otters, fishing cats, blackbuck, hawk deer, and certain facilities are also to be developed. These are the facilities that are to be developed once the zoo is going to be developed. So there would be aquarium for Gangetic dolphin, crocodiles, then enclosures will be created for rhinos, water buffaloes, barasingha. Then there would be facilities for avian species, the flying birds and all, and then reptiles, and obviously there would be a vet facility in order to provide the right treatment to these species, to these animals. Okay, so this is the question that I have just put in. Have a look. The proposed wetland species zoo inside Keoladeo National Parks aims primarily, this word is very important. So, what is the aim? Increase commercial tourism. There have been such examples in the past wherein the efforts have been made to increase the commercial tourism, but this is not the right answer over here. Rejuvenate biodiversity and reintroduce, this is the right answer. And promote captive breeding of exotic, no. Launch a, no, this is not a tiger reintroduction program. So the most appropriate one is this one, wherein they are trying to rejuvenate, they are trying to revive the local biodiversity and also take efforts with respect to the threatened species, or call it extinct species. Okay, then there is a research again over zebra fish, and a research was conducted on zebra fish by the universities in Sweden. So they are the Swedish universities, wherein a research was conducted and it was found that there is a special kind of protein CCN2A. This protein, see, such names are given at times in the examination. So just write it in your notes that CC2Na protein, which was obtained from zebrafish, has certain human benefits. So basically it will help in regeneration of the depleted or degenerated human vertebral disc. So this protein which is found in zebrafish, research is saying that this can treat the degenerated human vertebral disc. So this is the important thing that you should know. Though the universities involved, all those things are not that important, but this term you should remember, at least write it once or twice. And what is the use of this protein? Okay, moving further. Okay, I'm sorry, this was not conducted by Sweden, this was conducted by the Pune Research Institute. Okay, I'm sorry, this was, there is some other news which was related to Sweden. So, but again, what is the role of this? So, role we have already discussed. Then moving further. Okay, so again one more news related to the fishing activity. So this purse seine is a type of fishing gear. It is a fishing gear, it is a fishing net basically. A large wall-like net which is used for the fishing activity. This is the purse seine that we are talking about. So because of use of such net, a large number of unintended catch is also there in this net, and this unintended catch is resulting into loss of aquatic life or aquatic biodiversity. Yes. So for this reason, in 2022, Supreme Court banned the use of purse seine, this fishing gear, in the fishing activities. But later on, because of the livelihood concerns of the local fishermen, this ban was lifted in 2024. So initially this was banned, but later on, because a number of petitioners reached to Supreme Court, the apex court, and later on this ban was lifted because of the fact that large number of the coastal communities are dependent for their livelihood sources over the fishing activity, and one important fishing gear which has very high yield at low cost is this purse seine. So now let's have a look what all was there in the newspaper. Large wall of net encircling fish schools. So this is the net that we are talking about, which is purse seine. It has a very high yield. If you look at the catch, the yield is very high. Cost is low. Why cost is low? Because of the heavy catch, and then targets certain species, tuna and all. But yes, they are not only catching the targeted ones, there are certain non-targeted catch as well, and that is the point of concern. So non-selective traps species which might be endangered, which might be threatened, which might be at different level of their threat perception, which leads to overfishing. And yes, as I said that it was banned in 2022, but later on the ban was lifted. In fact, if you know, in 2025 Tamil Nadu fishermen have again reached to Supreme Court because Tamil Nadu government has banned the use of purse seine. So let me explain one concept, then you will understand this better. So let's say this is the coastal part of India. So this is the coastline. Yes, the entire is the coastline. So from the coastline up to 12 nautical miles, this is called territorial water. This is called territorial water. And beyond this, next 12 nautical miles is called contiguous zone. And from the coastline up to 200 nautical miles, this entire area is called exclusive economic zone. So this division is as per UN clause, but let's not get into that. The point I am trying to tell you here is that this territorial water is under the jurisdiction of the respective states. मतलब ये हुआ कि लेट्स से ये तमिलनाडु है, तो तमिलनाडु के सामने ये जो भी टेरिटोरियल एरिया है up to this point, that would be under the jurisdiction of Tamil Nadu state. It means that whatever laws are there in Tamil Nadu, that would be applicable in this territorial water of Tamil Nadu. Similarly, Kerala के सामने Kerala, Karnataka के सामने Karnataka, इधर आंध्रा के सामने आंध्रा. So in the territorial water, the right, the legal rights, the jurisdiction is of the respective states. तो इसीलिए तमिलनाडु गवर्नमेंट हैज बैंड द यूज ऑफ purse seine again on the same logic, using the same rationality, that it is resulting into killing of a large number of non-targeted catch, and ultimately it is disrupting the biodiversity and the aquatic life. So for the same concern, the fishermen from the Tamil Nadu reached to Supreme Court saying that, sir, you already have lifted the ban, but our government has implemented the ban. So that is the case that is going on in the Supreme Court. But you should know that in the territorial water, the jurisdiction is of the respective state, and in the exclusive economic zone, except in territorial water, the jurisdiction is of union government. Okay, so if at all somebody is involved in fishing activity in the exclusive economic zone, so they would be guided by the rules and the regulations of the union government. But if they are undertaking the fishing activity in territorial water, they are guided by the rules and regulations of the state government. Okay, now moving further, Have a look at the question. Very easy, but again a bit tricky. It is saying that per scene, first of all, know that it is a fishing gear, a large fishing gear, wall-like structure, was banned in India primarily. Why it was banned? So it destroys coral reef. If you have not read the topic, you might take it correct, but it is incorrect. It heavily targets deep sea species, again incorrect. And then it captures non-target and vulnerable, yes. And it pollutes. All these things are making sense, but the most appropriate one is C1. So that is what I am saying, that if you have not read these topics, it would be difficult to figure out the right answer. Okay, then a blue dragon. A blue dragon, its fossil has been recovered from Japan. So the scientists from Japan, they recovered, they in fact discovered, not recovered, they discovered the complete skeleton of this blue dragon. This blue dragon is also called Wakayama Soryu. It is a mosasaur. Why mosasaur? Mosasaurs are basically the marine predatory reptiles. So they are the reptiles, they are predatory in nature, and obviously they are found in the marine ecosystem. So this marine predatory reptiles are called mosasaur. So this is a mosasaur whose fossil has been discovered, and this fossil belongs to some 70-80 million years ago. Let's have some of the features of this blue dragon. You should know that it is the one of the largest reptile, the predatory reptile that was found during that time. So you should know that the front flipper is smaller compared to the rear flipper, although in picture it is not appearing so, but the front flipper is smaller in size compared to the rear flipper. So rear flipper is bigger compared to the front flipper. Shark-like fin and binocular vision. This binocular vision is helping them with the unique hunting skill. So that is why they became predatory, and they belong to Cretaceous time period. Not that important, but roughly you should have idea that 70-80 million years ago they resided in the ocean ecosystem. Now if you look at the question says that with reference to this recently seen in news, consider the following statement. It was discovered species of mosasaur found in Japan. Makes sense. It had larger rear flippers than frontal flippers. Makes sense. Mosasaurs belong to the family of dinosaurs. No, they belong to the family of the reptiles, not the dinosaurs. So which of these statements given above are correct? So correct one is 1 and 2. Okay, then again a question which is related to the heat waves, marine heat waves. I think I need to go back. So this one. So the fishes are showing some kind of surprising response to the marine heat waves, and this was confirmed by a publication in the Nature journal. This is a journal wherein it was published that the fish community in the marine ecosystem is showing some kind of surprisingly unpredictable response to the marine heat waves. So, marine heat waves means the heating of a particular area in the marine ecosystem compared to the surrounding area. And once the fishes are found in that marine heat wave zone, they are showing some surprisingly unpredictable response. It means that we cannot say for sure that this marine wave will have adverse impact or a favorable impact. ये नहीं पता चल पा रहा. तो that is the study what it is pointing out, that the fishing communities are not dramatically altering. So, at places it has been seen that these marine heat waves are somehow supporting the growth of the fish community. So, that is why surprisingly unpredictable. At places they have negative impact, at places they have positive impact, and no consistent tropicalization. Tropicalization means the adaptation to the, let me write, adaptation towards warm water species. So, इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि due to global warming and climate change, if the temperature will increase, ultimately these fish community or the marine ecosystem, the marine aquatic life will adapt itself to the warm conditions, and that is called tropicalization. But that consistent behavior in fish species is missing. That is what has been pointed out by the study. So, heat waves still harm corals and seabirds, that is said with surety, but with respect to the species, the fish species, that cannot be said with surety. Okay, so this was the study. Now, if you look at the question, it is a beautiful question based typically on the study. Following statements with respect to the marine heat waves, they always lead to shift towards warm water fish species. So, basically the tropicalization, but always is the word that is questionable here. So, this is incorrect. Although at times we believe that any kind of extreme word in the statement is every time wrong. So, that itself is a wrong conception. Do not carry that conception to the examination, or mostly if the extreme words are there in these statements, chances are likely that they might go wrong. The likelihood is very high that they would be wrong, but it does not mean that you should always take that wrong statement. Okay, then but this statement, look at the formulation of this statement. They can cause coral bleaching, and so heat waves can cause, obviously they can cause. So, this word is making the entire question the easiest one. Okay, which of these statements is or are correct? Accordingly, the B is the right answer. Okay, then let's talk about the killer whale, which is also called technically orcas. So, this orcas are in the news for the fact that two cities in Washington have proposed the recognition of the legal rights for these killer whales. These are the killer whales, the orcas. So, in Washington, two cities have proposed that these killer whales, also called orcas, should have some legal rights. Legal right of right to life, जैसे humans को है तो right to life, right to safe passage for movement, And also they are making demands for development of conditions so that the physical harm, the emotional harm, or any kind of harm that is caused to these killer whales does not occur. So these are the legal rights they are making demand for, and for that reason it was in the news. So you should know certain features of these killer whales. So scientific name, just remember orcas, and the largest species of the dolphin family. Do remember that this word is misleading. They do not belong to whale category, so they belong to dolphin family. So although it is said to be killer whale because of the resemblance like whale, but otherwise it belongs to dolphin family. In fact, it is the largest species of dolphin family. Okay. So since it is a killer whale, so it is the predator as well. IUCN status is data deficient. We do not have the enough data, sufficient data to make any kind of conclusion. Okay, why they are killer whales? Because they have the ability to hunt seals, dolphins, even whales and the sharks. Okay, so that is why the name. But again, do remember that they are not whales; they are the they are the largest species in the dolphin family. Now, have a look at the question. The statements about orcas are the largest member of dolphin family, right? They are found only in the temperate waters. No. So this I missed, but yes, they are found in the cold waters. Cold waters of Arctic region as well as Antarctic region. So they are found in general throughout the world, in the waters of the world, in the cold waters of the world. So they are found only, first of all, this is the problem, and only the temperate water, this is again problem, and only in the northern hemisphere, again problem. Right? So there are a number of mistakes in the second statement. If you know any of it, you can easily figure out. Their IUCN status is data deficient that we discussed. Yeah. Then discovery of a fish species in South America. So if you know South America, let me draw roughly the map of South America. This is roughly the map of South America. So this is the equator which is passing through South America. This country is a small country, Ecuador. Over here it is Colombia, and this country, if you know, is Peru, and over here there is a country called Bolivia. This country is called Bolivia. So this country is Bolivia, and over here it is Brazil. Over here there are small countries. So this big country is Brazil, this country is Bolivia. So over here a river is originating, and it is ultimately meeting with the Amazon river. This is the Amazon river, the largest river of the world. So there is a right bank tributary to this river called Madeira river, and this Madeira river is right bank tributary to river Amazon. And in this Madeira river there has been some new discovery. So what is that new discovery? The new fish species has been discovered in Madeira river basin, which is having its basin in Bolivia and Brazil. So if you look at this fish, have a look at this fish, this is having a longitudinal structure. So longitudinal dark stripes across caudal peduncle. So this part is, if you look at this part, this is highly longitudinal. This is the caudal peduncle part and it is grey in color, longitudinal in structure. Then dark brown strip from pre-dorsal to dorsal fin. So if you look at this part, so this entire part is the dark strip from pre-dorsal to, so from this area pre-dorsal to the dorsal fin. This is the dorsal fin. Okay, this dorsal fin help these fishes in maintaining movement as well as balance. This is a very significant part of the fish species, helping them in proper movement into the water. There is smaller anterior abdominal plates. So if you look at this one is smaller. Okay. Conservation status is least concerns. It means that they do not have the high degree of threat perception. Okay. So this new discovery, where it has been done, the river Madeira, that itself could be a question, and then the features of these species. So although I have created just one question, there could be multiple possible questions here. So Sturi rosa ricei, which was seen in the news, is related to what? Is a newly discovered deep sea shark? No. Species of armored freshwater. Is it a freshwater or not? So it is a freshwater, not a coral reef species of no. So it is a, how do we know that it is a freshwater? As I said that it has been discovered in Madeira river. And it is a river, so rivers are the sources of fresh water. Yes, so it is Madeira river, so that is why a freshwater catfish. Okay, so catfish, if you know, are basically the scaleless fishes. Scaleless मतलब कि बॉडी पे उनके स्केल्स नहीं होंगे. अगर आप देखें फिश को ऑब्जर्व करेंगे तो देर आर स्केल्स ओवर द बॉडी, बट दिस कैटफिश डज नॉट हैव द स्केल्स ओवर द बॉडी. एंड इफ यू लुक एट द फैक्ट्स, मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द fishes that are found in the fresh water, they belong to catfish category. Okay, so they are the small fishes, छोटी fishes, 5-7 मीटर 8 सेंटीमीटर, and they are the catfish. So उसी catfish की category में there is a new discovery. Okay, so I hope that you can figure out this question. Now moving to the another one discovery which happened in Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh, if you know, this state was in recently news also because of some notorious activity undertaken by China, wherein one lady from Arunachal Pradesh was stopped for undue investigation in China. So that news you already know, but over here we are focusing on a new discovery again belonging to catfish, and this the name that the catfish has been given is called Exostoma dhriti. Dhriti basically is the Dhriti Banerjee. Dhriti Banerjee, who is the first women director of Geological Survey of India. First women director. She is the first women director of Geological Survey of India, and after her name this species has been named. So this species, which is a discovery in Arunachal Pradesh, first thing you should know, just write the name. Then it was found in Seeking stream. So it is a small stream which is a tributary of Siang river. If you know Siang river, it is the tributary of Brahmaputra river. Yes. So the mighty river that flows in the entire northeast, entering into India from Arunachal Pradesh, where it is joined by Siang river and then a number of rivers are there. If you are interested, you should have a look at least the important tributaries of Brahmaputra river. But before that, let's talk about this. So Siang river, and it has been discovered by Geological Survey of India. As I told you that the name itself is coming from the first women director of Geological Survey of India. Okay, so this is the species that we have been talking about. So it was mentioned in the news, was discovered in not this, yes, not this, not this. So an easy question, but yes, you should know that it is a catfish. So catfish hai to again a small fish, smaller in size, does not have scales on the skin, on the body. So those are the properties of the catfish. Now there is another discovery in news. So it is Nema teleotris lavandula. So it is a lavender, it is a dart fish, it is a colorful fish basically. If you happen to visit some corals, the colorful fishes are nothing but these dart fish. So this colorful fish is the example of the dart fish, and a new such species of the fish has been discovered in Western and Central Pacific Ocean. So the scientists from Australia and Japan have recently discovered this dart fish, which is, you should know that first of all the name Nema teleotris, and this is a dart fish, and which is obviously the colored one. So it is colored, it is found where it should be found. It is found in the rumbles or the segregations of the coral reefs. So let's have some detail. It is brightly colored reef fish because it is found in the coral reefs. It is known for flicking dorsal fin. So dorsal fin is highly flicking, and then there are smaller fishes. Habitat is sand channels, rubble zones near the coral reefs. Obviously they are the ones who feed on the planktons, they are herbivores. Okay. So the question again a very simple one, if you know the current development. Nema teleotris lavandula recently in news belongs to which of the following organisms? So not this, although they are found in coral species, but they do not belong to coral species. They are not coral species, they are not reptiles. They are the dart fish of this family. So basically dart fish belong to this family mostly. No. Okay. So this would be all. I think we have covered today the 12 topics which hold great importance for the prelims examination 2026. If you have anything in your mind, let us know in the comment section. We'll try and include those things as well. Thank you so much for being with me. Have a great day.